Welcome back to Super Tuesday Recap. This is your host Chris and co-host Deepom. There we go. See, didn't. I got rest. I got rest this time. I know my own name. I know what day it is. I think it's Sunday. We're here to review the season finale of Arrow, season 6, episode 23. Life sentence with a new ally on his team. Oliver engaged Diaz in an epic final battle. God, so I'm gonna say right now, I'm colored by this episode because this is the one thing I did not want them to do. They had Oliver apologizing to a bunch of these fucking assholes. I get why they had to do it. I get that it shows Oliver's a mature, moving on man. I'm still very, very upset because everything that happens in this episode, everything that's happened in this season, is everybody else's fault but Oliver. I am Team Oliver Queen. I don't want to hear anybody say shit about Oliver Queen going forward.
And that's why I liked the apologies, because if you look at exactly what he apologized for, he never says he was wrong.
No. It's
to Dinah, he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't respect your pain enough, which is a fair thing to say.
This is the first time I've ever gotten. He gives them the white man apology, which is
deserved.
They all deserve this time.
You're very lucky you got that. Let's be real.
Right. This is a mature.
Slap everyone and say, "Get the fuck off my property."
Right. This is the mature white man apology. And I also have another thing I have to say. I have to apologize to you, Deepom, because you were right to not like this person at first. Agent Watson can go fuck herself.
Real bad.
Are you fucking out of your mind? You guys did nothing. The FBI.
You guys were cannon fodder. We just needed more bodies to drop all. The team handled business.
You just provided the bodies.
You provided us henchmen are us. You were fucking redshirts.com. This was not fuck the FBI.
You all did absolutely nothing. And then she was a complete asshole about it afterwards. Quentin dies and she's like, doesn't change anything. Bitch, give him a moment. Give him a moment. Are you fucking out of your... He gave you everything. Everything but Diaz. He got close enough to Diaz to clone the drive so you could finally do what you should have done a year ago, which is clean up the fucking city and do your job as the FBI. He gave you everything. And what do you have? What did you get out of it? You got to put Oliver Queen in jail with Diaz still out there, knowing that without him, you can't stop Diaz. I not gonna lie, when they were in that building with the bomb, I was hoping to get a twofer. I was hoping to get a.
I was like, I said out loud, finally. I was so happy they were gonna kill fucking Wild Dog.
I almost text you this morning. I didn't know if you had seen it yet.
When he made that phone call, nigga, I was like, do it. Give him a phone call. Then kill his ass. But no.
So that's why I almost text you this morning, because I knew that I could only share this with Deepom, that nobody else would have been smiling as hard as I was as Renee made that phone call to Zoe. Because I was on the edge of my seat smiling like, yo, blow him up right when he hangs the phone up. Blow him up. Like, I was actually hoping him making the phone call would somehow set the bomb off, which is another thing. I was like, hey, dude, you might not want to, if the bomb has a trigger, you might not want to do that. So I'm just, okay.
I'll say this, show. If that phone call and him going back to save that woman was supposed to make me root for Renee, no. I rooted for more properly timed explosions. It's the slowest daisy chain I've ever seen in my entire life.
Oh, yeah, no.
Running away effectively from explosions. How dare you? Full respect on Diaz's name. That shit would have gone off at once.
Yes. That is the one big problem I have with this episode. Renee did not die. And I was promised.
I can't explain why. Honestly, no one can tell me why he's alive.
Like, afterwards, Oliver basically told him go home and be a family man.
Which is good advice, because guess what? Your shit where you freeze, we can't have it.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, we don't really need you. We don't really need you. Just stop.
Yo, when Oliver's like, I thought you were a thug. I'm like, yo, if he just said like I was right.
Right. Just stop it right there. I thought you were a thug, and then trail off.
I gotta go.
All right. All right.
This motherfucker, like he turned. When he's the only one keeping his mask on, he's like, mask guys. I'm like, hey, dickhead, they know who they are because of you. This is your fault.
Yeah, dude, everybody knows you're Wild Dog. Like, everybody already knows you. Like, everybody there.
You were the informant, Wild Dog. You're the reason they know all these Arrow. How dare you?
Right. It's like mask. I'm like, dude, you were literally just on trial. You were literally just on trial, and you literally just admitted, like, you actually, even on trial, you admitted that Oliver was the Green Arrow. So what are you talking about, mask? Mask, guys. What? What are you doing? Like, this is why you suck. This is why Renee sucks. This is why Renee should have died.
Diaz looked at your daughter sideways, and you were like, yeah, Oliver's a Green Arrow. I'm a whole ass.
Right.
What?
Right. Hell, even before that, you snitched.
Oh, yeah.
Which again goes back to Agent Watson. It's like you got Renee to turn on Oliver Queen, but you couldn't figure out and you couldn't get away to get into Star City and realize that Diaz was there. You sat there and blamed Oliver Queen. This happened under his watch, but it's like, fuck it, you're the FBI. What are you doing? You were what? Like I was just really. I get it. I think it'll be interesting to see where they go next season. But I'm not gonna lie, I was so disgusted with her this episode and what she did there. I'm like, and again, I think this goes just to the writing. It's like, first of all, why'd you write her to be this like cold-hearted bitch? That's really what they wrote her to be. And I'm like, it's the same thing they did with Amanda Waller, that to the point of
which is why I assume they're not doing that. So I assume that Oliver's in prison for a reason.
I hope so, because. Like
they're not going to give us Arrow next season with Oliver just off screen for 4 or 5 episodes. He's going to have a plot line in jail.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Because
so I'm thinking that he got sent to the slab to root out some to do something for the FBI.
I hope so, because the way they have this going right now. Because again, like I said, they basically made Agent Watson the new Amanda Waller. But to the point
I'm
pretty
sure someone called her Waller at some point in the show.
Because like the problem they've done with the Waller, if you look back at it, they made Waller so cold and so like kind of stupid. And so in this case, like Watson looks stupid. Like with everything she did, it's like you did nothing. And then Oliver literally roots out Diaz, you know, because he trusted Quentin, that Quentin knew that they would be able to track him. Because again, remember, she wasn't even going to try to save, for the rightfully so, the other Laurel or anything like that. She had no way of tracking him because they only had satellites. The fuck? You don't have good enough people to track. Only Felicity could do that. And then in the end, you had nothing. Like Oliver's the one that cloned the drive that it gave you the end you needed to root out the corruption that's in Star City. He saved Star City. You did nothing. And then at the end, you're going, this changed nothing. Like, really? It changed.
This changed everything.
Like, there have been people that get immunity for less. Okay? For less. Oliver's going to jail for what now? For, like, at this point, it's like, what do you even put him in jail for? He went to jail for what? For being the Green Arrow? Because I know he went on trial.
You're now charged with some murders.
Okay. Which murders? Of criminals? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing?
I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that, like, there's still murders.
Yeah, I mean, they put him. That's not other thing. That's not a Supermax prison, but okay, whatever. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm figuring it's got to be something like what you said. It's got to be. Right? It has to be, because if not, fuck you for this. Because everything else was good to me. That just annoyed the shit out of me, because at the end, it's two things. I look at it 2 ways. One, I'll go the good way. The good way is, it shows you how far Oliver's come. Oliver literally got the rest of his entire team immunity, even though they fucked up. He saved and did what the FBI should have fucking done, which is get all the information on all the corruption in Star City and then hand it over to them. And he literally sacrifices himself. You know, he sacrifices himself and then comes out as being the Green Arrow. Does all of that selflessly. Even in that conversation he was having with Felicity when she was like, "You can't give up being the Green Arrow as part of who you are." In a way, you know, he doesn't. He doesn't give up being the Green Arrow. He embraces that. This is who he is, and whatever comes with that comes with that. But the other side of me is just like, guys, is like you give him you let him go. He saved your asses. He gave you he rooted out the corruption in the entire fucking city, basically by himself because his team is fucking stupid, you know. And in a way, Agent Watson, you made it harder because if you go back to it, a lot of the problems beyond the team come from Agent Watson's initial investigation of Oliver Queen to begin with, which was all a manipulation by Diaz. You were being manipulated by Diaz, and you sit there and go, fuck it, doesn't matter. I'm gonna still go forward with it. What?
I'm going in.
What? Oh, anyway, I'm sorry. I had to get that out of the way first.
Fair. I think that was all fair.
Yeah, I had to get it out of the way first because I mean, again, the rest of the stuff I loved in the episode. I mean, I think there are a couple things I liked about this. One, not killing Diaz is interesting because it's like this is the first time we've had a season where they did not kill the villain at the end. Because even in season 1, while Merlin came back, we were all led to believe that he died. Right. So this is the first time where we, you know, your villain lives. And now you're like, okay, what the fuck are you going to do going on? And, you know, Felicity and Willem had to go into protective custody because Diaz is still out there. You know, Diggle's going to have to put the suit back on. I screamed at Diggle in my notes because I'm like, you did all this shit. Oliver has another suit made. And then you sit there and go, it'll water. There can't be 2 green arrows. And I'm like, this man is trying so hard to give you what you were crying about, Diggle. You take that shit, you say thank you, and you put the fucking suit on. You put the fucking suit on, Diggle. You put the suit on, you be happy. Goodness, I have never seen a group of just, I wanted to smack Diggle, yo. I wanted to smack him. I'm like,
go with that feeling. That's the correct feeling. It's ridiculous.
Like, wait, he made you another suit in the middle of the siege. He has another suit for you, and you're like, no, it's okay, Oliver. It was never really about the suit. I don't know, man. You kind of made it about the suit. You kept asking.
Pretty clear it was about the suit.
You kept.
You were there. Like, we saw how much you wanted this motherfucking suit.
You whine to your wife. You whine to Oliver's wife. Then you whine to Oliver himself.
By the way, if I hear about a problem you have with me through my wife, yeah. Oliver, you know what this is? You know what the end of the season was? Oliver the hero. Because that shit is heroic. Because that's heroic is by define going above and beyond the callings of normal men. A normal man doesn't know. No.
Yeah. It's just,
I would have handled Diggle a cell phone.
Right.
The next time you have a fucking problem with me, you pick this motherfucker up and you call me. We'll grab a beer or a vodka and we'll talk it out. What you're not gonna do is run an end around on me via my wife.
But again, I said it shows real maturity for Oliver. Like this is basically coming full circle from 6 years of seeing where Oliver's come around to where he's no longer like even that speech at the end where he says basically does the I am Iron Man moment. I am Green Arrow. I'm the Green Arrow. Where he basically clears Roy Harper's name, clears Tommy's name, basically saying those are good men who took the who took the fall for me. I'm standing up for this. This is and when you think about the full journey of Oliver Queen, and I know like Stephen Amell and Oliver Queen themselves get like a lot of shit for this show, but I think he's what makes this show. I mean, not just because he's the title character, but because the growth of Oliver Queen over the last 6 seasons is exemplified by this episode here. I mean, this is like when we started in season 1, Oliver Queen couldn't take responsibility for shit. He would not take responsibility for shit. Remember what Oliver says. Like the first badass moment of Oliver Queen's life in season 1 is when he gets kidnapped and he kills that officer, or that the corrupt officer is basically like, nobody can know my secret. You know? Mm-hmm. Now here it is, everybody can know his secret. He's come out and said it on camera that he is a Green Arrow. He's taking responsibility for it. He's going to jail. He will be back. I mean, like,
shocking,
right? I mean, come on, this is, you know. But it's going to be interesting seeing how they bring him back and what they do with that. And I do think that, because to me, the show to compare this with is the Flash, because the Flash kind of has done. The Flash has taken Barry off the table a couple times, and they've also done this thing where, you know, you're not. It's been kind of similar, and I think they did the trial and things like that. I feel like overall, Arrow's done that better. I mean, Arrow basically made the trial of Oliver Queen and him being charged a season-long thing, where it ends with him literally going to jail. And we know it's not going to last, and we know it's not going to be good, but you got to give it to him. And as stupid as I think the FBI is, and as stupid as I think Agent Watson is, like, it's been a consistent stupid, if that makes sense. You know, it's been consistent. It's been since I think episode 1 of this season. It's been a straight through line through it, and to this point, and you've seen Oliver grow as a person to the point of, even when he pushed people away, you kind of understand. Like, so right now with the Flash, you know, when Barry pushes people away, you're like, Barry, stop being stupid. Like, Barry, you're being stupid. With us, we're like, oh, no, Oliver, kick all these motherfuckers out of the Arrow cave. Fuck these motherfuckers. Bury them. Matter of fact, kill Renee. It's okay. Nobody will know. Put an arrow on his chest. It'll be fine.
Really being alive at the end of the season
right.
makes me happy.
Right.
But no, I think you're right. And I think that something that's discounted about this show is the performance of Stephen Amell. I think he's really at his very best as Oliver Queen, when they're playing in the nuances and playing with the subtleties of the character and the things that we already know about him. Mm-hmm. And that's why I really enjoy his performance this week. I don't think the episode's fine. The episode's good. It falls a little flat for me, just because, kind of, not necessarily a structural thing, but just the season and me having to roll my eyes and say, wait, more Diaz, God damn it.
Well, maybe in season 7 they'll actually make it so you give a shit about Diaz at this point.
Oh, I think they are. I won't talk about that in a second, because they mentioned something, the Longbow Hunters, that I want to talk about.
Right.
But I think that the best 2 scenes this episode were the farewell scenes for Paul Blackthorne.
Oh,
with
yes.
Stephen Amell. And I like that they had the conversation outside the police station, because it kind of felt like the goodbye scene. You're like, that was good, but it wasn't great. And then they get the hospital scene. Mm-hmm. And it was a great way to subvert the expectation, because none of us are done. We all have the internet. We knew Paul Blackthorne had a pilot picked up, and congratulations to him. But it was very nice to see them play on the expectation of the first conversation, and then have the weight added for the second one.
Right.
And Amell is at his best, like I said, when he's playing with the subtleties of the character, and there's no more subtle you can be than with another character that was present in the pilot. Mm-hmm. And that's Quentin Lance. The only 2 characters from the pilot left are Diggle and Ollie.
Yeah.
Felicity's not in the pilot.
Yeah. So
I think that the send-off was very well done. The inclusion of Sarah was a really nice touch.
Oh, I love I love that. And I love Sarah looking at like her sister, not sister. Basically, like, are you like my Laura? She's like, no. And I'm like, I put in my notes, like, no, she's a murderer.
I'm closer to you.
Right. I actually, now that you say that, I'm like, oh my God, this Sarah and this Laurel might bond now.
Throw Laurel on the Wave Rider. Let's do this. Also, just a quick note. So we're not saying goodbye to Curtis.
No, I would think not. Why?
Curtis didn't warn a goodbye. Everyone else got an Ollie speech. Renee got an Ollie speech.
Well, yeah, because Curtis was the only one that didn't really. It's like we said, Curtis was the only one that we did not fuck with. Curtis never fucked any. Curtis never did anything. Curtis went with everybody else just because And when Curtis left, you're like, I can kind of see that, Curtis. I can see why Curtis is a little bit like, because they had also tapped Curtis's phone. You're like, I can see that why Curtis would be a little upset about that, because Curtis hasn't really done anything to deserve that, and Curtis has actually been here longer than everybody else, and you guys aren't treating him like that. So Curtis didn't get a goodbye speech because Curtis really wasn't mad at Oliver, So I think that's why, because basically what they did, and that's what, like I said, Oliver did an apology tour this episode where he basically goes and does a apology to Diggle, Renee, and then Dinah, and
the non-apology tour.
The non-apology apology tour, and then he talks to Felicity about basically we started talking to Felicity about what they're going to do. Curtis didn't really need the speech though, because Curtis had always, because you got to remember, Curtis had always been kind of in between both groups anyway a little bit. So yeah, I think that's the only reason why we didn't get the Curtis speech, is because Oliver's not like mad at Curtis, like Curtis just went with everybody else because Curtis is like, well, I don't want to be the only one here. And even then, I think I gotta go back to it, but I think when Curtis left, Curtis like the last person, he was like, everybody else had left, and Curtis was like, yeah, I'm gone too now, or something like that. Yeah, like Curtis is still good in the books as far as my books, and he even got a little, he got a little bit, he's getting a little bit of training, so he didn't get his ass completely whooped this episode, so that's good. I did want to go back to the Quentin and Oliver thing. We mentioned this, maybe it was season 3 or 4, I can't remember, because it was just like every time Quentin and Oliver talk, it's like a father-son moment, and he started developing that father-son relationship. So when he's talking to, I guess, was it in the hospital that time? And I think Oliver was basically like, I'm not talking about my dad, I'm talking about you. And it's like, you guys have developed this father-son relationship that's been really good. And so you're right, it was a good send-off. I still didn't know if they were going to kill him or not, because again, I knew he was leaving, but they had other people leave, but not really leave by killing them and things like that. But I actually think it was time for Quentin to go. Like you said, I think he's, there's not really much you can do with him at this point. It never really made sense for him to be mayor at this point, because he is a former corrupt cop. So it's like, kind of do have to let him go. And the stuff with Laurel, like, we'll see what I'm now interested in seeing what they're going to do with Laurel Lance, this Earth 2 Laurel Lance, because with Quentin gone, you can kind of go and say she has nothing to hold her back now, but I don't know, maybe she develops a relationship with the sister she never really had, or she never really did. I don't know what they're going to do with that. That'll be interesting to see what they do with Black Siren, but I think that while they were a little sloppy with it throughout the season, the stuff they did with Laurel and Quentin here, because if you think about it, Quentin got a chance to save his daughter, what he didn't get to do for his for Earth Prime Laurel. He got the jump in front of a bullet for her. He got to save his daughter. He didn't get that chance before, and so this is literally Quentin feeling like he's making up for lost time. Feeling like he's making up for things and doing what he couldn't do. He couldn't save Laurel. He couldn't save Sarah. Here, he got to save one. He got to save somebody. And, it is fucking sad that Sarah... I'm really interested to see how this Sarah deals with this next season in Legends, because Sarah didn't get to say goodbye.
Right. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, that's the fucking thing.
And I thought it was really funny that Diaz was like, you didn't watch your daughter die again? I'm like, actually, he's seen her die like 3 times.
Right. Oh man, this is light work for Quentin. What are you talking about?
This is gonna phase him, honestly.
Yeah, this is light work. How he's her die again? Please, dude. I got this. I got the DVDs and I got the extras. Got the DVD extras.
Yeah.
Oh,
Laurel, there's another Laurel that came over in the Flash that everyone keeps forgetting about.
Oh yeah, fuck. We do got Nazi Laurel. Oh god,
Nazi Laurel's here somewhere.
God, there's way too many Laurels.
They've got Laurels for days.
We got backup Laurels. We got backup Laurel. And it also, this also opens up for, right? It opens up for us getting a one day. If his pilot doesn't go through or whatnot happens down the line, we can get we can get some other Earth Quentin back. So I mean, not
what I want is an entire League of Laurel.
The legal laurels.
No, nigga. Tell me you wouldn't watch that shit. At least an episode.
I would. I mean, at this point, you might as well. We've had 4.
Why not? Why not? Let's have a little fun with it.
I mean, we've had 3 already, so we might as well. I mean, shit. Why not? Like you said. Let's see. I think that was the big stuff. You want to talk about the Longbow Hunters?
So the Longbow Hunters. The Longbow Hunters originally a storyline. It's a self-contained. I think it's a 3-part miniseries written and drawn by Mike Grell in the late 80s. It's not what they're doing here. Because DC is bereft of new ideas, they revived the concept in the New 52 in that run. I know you're reading the new run of Green Arrow. Did you read that first New 52 run?
The New 52 run? No, I did not.
You didn't this much. But a team of people is assembled to fight Green Arrow, and they call themselves the Longbow Hunters. And their number in the comic books, New 52, was Brick, Count Vertigo, Richard Dragon, Killer Moth, and Red Dart. Clearly, we've got Dragon and Diaz there. We don't know who the other people are going to be. They mentioned he made 3 friends, so that's 3 assassins that are going to be coming to the show next year. And yeah, they've already used Shadow on the island, but if they bring her back for this, you may have found a good way to not just pique my interest, but to really keep it for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things they can do. Remember, we still got the storyline with what's her name, Thea, and Malcolm Merlin maybe being brought back in another fountain, another Lazarus pit. So, I mean, there's a lot of things they can do with this next season. That yeah, I mean, look, I get it. Like at this point, here's the thing with Arrow. It's 6 seasons in.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, either you're in or you're out. Like I can't see myself watching something for 6 seasons and not being in. So yeah, at this point, like even with the problem I've had with this show in these seasons, like I'm still watching Arrow. Like it's season 7's coming on. I'm like, well, I guess we're doing it. Let's keep doing it. Like I'm that guy now. I'm now in there. So I think that honestly, if people are still watching Arrow, you like it. Like don't fake like you don't like it. You like Arrow because you've been watching it for 6 seasons. Now, if you don't, then stop watching. Seriously, I'm being dead serious about this.
Yes.
Stop watching it. Like I don't understand this idea of, because to me this is still a lot of work. I like these shows. It's still a lot of work. Sit here and watch them and then review them and talk about them. It's a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit on TV. I am not watching. And these are long seasons. This is episode 23. So Agent of Shield only does 22. Like Arrow and all these other shows, they do 23 episodes. That is 23 hours. That's a full fucking day of watching. No, I'm not doing that if I don't like this show. So I don't think it's going to get better for anybody who doesn't like it. Like there obviously are some problems, but to me, it's just continuing on with. To me, like I said, I don't think anything will meet to the level. Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. I think that people think that it doesn't meet the level of season 2. That nothing has topped that season. One, I think season 5 did, but I also think that I have to go back and look at it, but I don't think that season 2 of Arrow had the breaks that this show had. And we talked about this with The Flash. I think the breaks hurt the narrative story, not as much as The Flash, but it still does because you kind of get thrown off. And when you have a show that's this long, I also think it's hard to get back into it. So if you're not watching, you haven't seen these characters grow, and let's say you skipped a season and you came back, you might not see the subtle differences between the characters, especially the growth of Oliver. To me, that's what the season was about.
Right.
Like last season was about breaking Oliver. Right. Last season was all about breaking him. This season is literally coming back from being broken when Adrian Chase, like, let's be honest here, Adrian Chase kind of won. He's kind of big.
Adrian kind of win. He very much won.
He won, so like this is Oliver coming back and putting the pieces together and trying to figure out who he wants to be. Is he going to try to be the mayor? Is he going to try to be separated? Is he going to try to separate Oliver Queen from the Green Arrow and what that means? And by the end of the season, we have it that he realized that he can't. They're one and the same. He is the Green Arrow. This is who he wants to be. And whatever comes with that, comes with that. If it's consequences, then it's consequences. But he has to live his truth. And like I said, I overall enjoyed this season. Had some down things. Definitely some things I would have changed. I honestly wish they had just done they'd done the Diaz thing a little bit different. Because I don't think that Diaz is bad. I don't think he was a bad villain at all. Like, and I like Kirk Acevedo. Like, I love that actor.
That's because of Kirk Acevedo. Kirk Acevedo elevated what he was given.
Yes, absolutely.
Us being ambivalent towards Richard Dragon or Ricardo Diaz is not a reflection on the actor. Us having any emotions beyond disgust is a reflection on the actor.
Yes.
Because, even the episode they try to kind of course correct, Collision Course, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It just flat out doesn't work. And so the fact that they're able to pull off what they were pull off with him, bring him back, surround him with someone with maybe a quadrant I can believe in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But he said he wanted the Longbow Hunters. They mentioned 3 assassins. More feared than the League of Assassins, because it always is. Yeah.
Which means you got to bring back the League of Assassins, which means more Nissa, which means I'm down for that. So, hey.
Excellent point.
I'm always down for more Nissa. So, yeah, like I said, hey, and I'll say this now, I'm just jumping ahead. I think I'm going to say the same thing about The Flash. Like, yeah, there are going to be things I did not like and the things I'm going to want different. But here's the thing. It's going to be season 5 next season, guys. At this point, I've seen a lot of people say that it hasn't lived up to their expectations since season 2. It's time to drop it. I mean, that's just the reality of it. I don't think there's any shame in that. Like, I dropped Gotham halfway through 10 episodes into season 2, and I have not been back. I dropped Walking Dead. I dropped Walking Dead. People were like, "Oh, you're still watching?" I'm like, "No, I'm not." "Oh no, I know you're still watching. You're just not telling me." I'm like, "No, I stopped watching that shit." Like, there's too much good shit out there, guys. Too much good TV to sit there and watch something that doesn't give you joy.
And the other thing is, if you're watching something and you don't like it, first of all, spend your time better. Like, honestly, there's only so many hours in the day. But if you didn't like it, you don't have to say anything, because there are people who do like it. I'm one of those people at this point. Don't yuck someone else's yum.
Mm-hmm.
Like people. The example this weekend was people were partying about the wedding. You may note that on my social media, I said nothing about it because I legitimately don't have no vested interest and don't care. But also, I'm not here to be like, I'm going to ruin your time.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I do that? This is a ridiculous stance. So, yeah, I mean, no one's going to make you watch these things. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. But I don't feel like, I'm not saying everyone's going to be sycophantic, and we're not here telling you that the shows are perfect. But if you're saying this was an enjoyable 23 hours, reevaluate how you spent your 23.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely on that. Like, at this point with the CW shows, particularly the way they did, if they do the crossover next season, with bringing in Batwoman, hey, let's do it. If they do it like they did this season, you won't need to watch the previous episodes to jump right in. Because here's the thing, I am way behind on Supergirl, although I need to catch up on Supergirl. I've heard that people say it is, really, really good. So I just need to find the time to catch up on it. I did not watch Supergirl to catch up on for the crossover this season. I pretty much just either listened to like the last review right before they started it with Shannon and the Doctor. And
I went in complete cold.
Huh? Oh yeah, and you were fine, right?
I was 100% fine.
Yeah, so it's like if that's how they're doing the crossovers from now on, you don't need to watch, and I think that's okay. Like, shit, I still have not caught up on Black Lightning. I know, take my black card. I just haven't.
Me neither. Someone asked me about it because I was at a friend's bar last night, and I have friends who listen to our podcast. Thank you for listening, guys. And they mentioned, he said, "So if you watch Black Lightning," I was like, "I'm sorry, I haven't."
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. Having other people review things like in this Arrowverse is the best because it means I don't have to watch it, and it's not a shame on the show. It just I don't have the time. I'll get to it eventually. It's on my DVR. I have them DVR. I can show you guys.
Yeah, they're on Netflix.
Oh shit! Fuck! I guess I can delete my DVR.
After it's over.
Well, no. Here's the thing. I gotta leave it on my DVR because if I don't leave it on my DVR, I'm not gonna watch it. Then I'll never watch it. So I gotta do it. I gotta catch up on Into the Badlands back. I gotta catch up on the Expanse. I'm DVRing that. Like, dude, there's just so much shit. And again, like I told people I was gonna watch Legion because Legion's back with season 2. Like, there's so much stuff I got to do that
I gotta watch Legion too. I forgot about that.
so much stuff I got to do, and I'm sorry. So yeah, I just. You don't have to watch all of the Arrowverse in all these shows to catch someone. Watch the stuff that you like, pick and choose, and go from there. You don't need to see everything in order to catch up. So yeah, do that. So you got anything else you want to say about this season finale, man?
No, like I said, there are things about the season that you and I think both agree we didn't love. Michael Emerson, I feel, was kind of wasted. But,
Definitely.
I enjoyed it for what it was. I enjoyed the season. I'm excited for what's next because they have changed. Say what you will about these formulaic CW shows. They're leaving the season with a very big paradigm shift because if Oliver Queen says, I am the Green Arrow, it's not that big of a leap to, hey, your bodyguard and wait, your friend who works in the cop and wait, how is he mayor security? Security of the mayor. Like, it's all a lot of that thread starts to unravel. It's the Bruce Wayne question. Once you establish Bruce Wayne's Batman, the rest of it falls pretty easily into place.
And we're still one step closer to my, hey, Barry Allen, just go ahead and unmask yourself agenda. I know it's not going to happen, but let me think. Let me believe. Let me have my beliefs. All right. So, yeah, folks, there you guys have it. Mailbag is coming out in 2 weeks. So, get your emails in, mailbag@mtrnetwork.net. Let us know what you think. Again, comics, TV shows, movie news. There's plenty of stuff coming out with movie stuff. So, yeah, email is there. And, yeah, folks, thank you guys very much for listening. I think we have Flash coming up this week. That'll be the end. I can't remember when. I don't know when Supergirl ends, but I think they're getting the same number of episodes. So Supergirl will probably go on a little bit longer as the ladies finish that up. As far as what we're gonna do with Super Tuesday while we're in break, try to catch up on some of these other shows and maybe review those. We'll definitely have maybe we'll do more mailbags. I don't know how we'll figure out how we're doing that. We'll figure something out. So we're getting at least two.
First, we're gonna take a little break.
Oh, hell yes! Oh yes, there will be a break.
I want to make sure everyone realizes that's happening.
Oh, yeah. There will be a break for most of June, all right? Like, there will be a mailbag at the end of June. There will be a nice little break outside of, like, once we do this episode on Wednesday and then the mailbag episode in May, you might not hear from Deepalm and I on this show at least until then, because we do have some stuff planned for a Character Corner. So, yeah, but Super Tuesday is definitely going to be on break for a while, because, guys, every season, we get to the end of the season, I'm just like, I'm just so fucking tired. I'm just glad this is all over with. And that's part of the reason why I gotta tamper my reviews. I'm like, part of me is just happy. I don't care what happened. I just know the show is over. And even if I liked it, I'm just like, I'm glad I don't have to talk about this anymore. So,
it's a very exciting time for your boys.
It very is. Very, very, very exciting. So, again, folks, thank you guys very much for listening. Until next time, we're out of here. Peace.